All right, let's talk about something we all have, a checking account. It's the absolute workhorse of our financial lives, right? Paycheck goes in, bills go out. It seems so straightforward. But what if I told you that this simple, everyday tool has secrets, hidden rules that are probably costing you money right now?
So, I gotta ask you straight up, is that checking account you use every single day, is it secretly working against you? For way more people than you think, the answer is a shocking, yeah, it is.
But hey, that's exactly what we're going to tackle today. We're going to pull back the curtain and uncover those surprising truths, those tricky little rules buried deep in the fine print that, let's be honest, the banks are kind of hoping you just gloss over. Okay, first secret up. And this one, it's a total game changer. It's the old idea, the myth, that you need a bank with a physical branch right around the corner. That advice isn't just outdated anymore. It's actively costing you cash. Now, this right here really lays out the why of it all. See, traditional banks have these huge overhead costs. We're talking rent, utilities, staff for dozens of branches. And who do you think pays for all that? You. It comes in the form of higher fees and interest rates that are basically zero. Online banks, on the other hand, don't have all that baggage. So they pass the savings on to you with awesome rates and few, if any, fees. Real convenience today isn't a building, it's a killer app, and getting your ATM fees paid back no matter where you are. And this quote just nails the new reality. As our source material says, the best rates and lowest fees are almost always found on the digital frontier. The entire financial world has shifted online, and that's where the value is, period. So you really have to ask yourself, are you paying a premium for a service, that physical branch, that you probably haven't even stepped inside of in months, maybe even years? All right, let's get into our second secret. And oh man, this one is an absolute classic. We're talking about the illusion of free checking. It might just be the most common trick in the entire banking playbook. That word free, it's just so powerful. But in banking, it almost always comes with a huge asterisk. It really means free if you keep a high balance, or free if you have direct deposit. And if you fail to meet those conditions, even just for one day, boom, that free account is suddenly anything but. And here's exactly how the trap snaps shut. The bank says you need to keep, let's say, $1,500 in there at all times. Dip below that, and you get hit with a hefty monthly fee. But here is the real kicker. That $1,500 they're making you park in their account, it earns you absolutely nothing. Zero. You are literally giving the bank an interest-free loan just for the privilege of not being penalized by them. It's wild. And that's not even touching the biggest, baddest hidden cost of them all, the overdraft fee. One tiny mistake, one small miscalculation can cost you $35, a huge price to pay for a simple error. So how do you protect yourself? It's pretty simple, really. First, you have to read that fee schedule like a detective. What are the exact rules? Second, understand their overdraft policy before you're in a tight spot. And honestly, the best move of all, find one of the newer banks that have your back, accounts that will just decline a transaction instead of hammering you with a massive fee. Which brings us perfectly to our third and final secret. This is all about getting over that one big hurdle that keeps people stuck in bad accounts, the fear that switching banks is a nightmare. So let's talk about your escape plan. I mean, let's be honest, the whole idea of switching banks just sounds like a massive headache, right? All those automatic payments, changing your direct deposit, it feels like a mountain of paperwork. And you know what? That feeling is exactly what your bank is betting on. They are counting on that inertia to keep you right where you are. But the truth is, it's not a nightmare anymore. It's actually gotten super easy. This simple four-step plan shows you how. You can research and open a better account online in just a few minutes. Then you just work through a checklist, moving over your payments one by one. And once you see that everything's running smoothly, you snip the cord and close that old account for good. It's totally manageable, and believe me, it's empowering. And that's the real strategy. The most powerful thing you can do isn't even leaving. It's just being ready to leave. The moment you know you have an easy way out, the entire power dynamic flips. You're no longer a captive customer. You're a consumer with options. And that puts you in the driver's seat. So when you put all this together, what's the big picture? By understanding these secrets, you're not just saving a few bucks on fees. You are fundamentally changing your entire relationship with your bank. You're shifting from just being a passive customer to being an active strategist of your own money. So let's just recap the new rules for smart banking. It's simple. Rule 1, forget about how close the branch is. Choose based on low fees and a great app. Rule 2. Be super skeptical of the word free and say no to any account that has strings attached. And rule 3, always have your escape plan ready to go. In the end, it really all boils down to this one question. Now that you know the secrets, are you going to keep paying for a version of convenience that doesn't really serve you anymore? Or are you going to take control and choose a bank that actually rewards you and your money? The choice is all yours.